It's that time of the year again. After a tumultuous couple of months, the latest Call of Duty game is out, and it's already proving to be one of the most interesting in a long while. This list isn't only about Modern Warfare though, but the entire rich history of the series. For over a decade now, Activision's shooter has remained at the top of the cultural tentpole, boasting millions of fans that have been there from the beginning, and just as many that have cut their teeth on the current gen releases. By now, pretty much everyone has tried Call of Duty at some point, but there are a bunch of specific highs and lows unique to this series that longtime fans look forward to every time a new release rolls around, and it feels like as good a time as any to finally celebrate them. I'm Josh from WhatCulture.com, and these are 15 things only Call of Duty fans will understand. Number 15, anyone stealing your care package. Care packages are a popular kill streak, and it's easy to see why. These bad boys are relatively easy to call in, usually only taking around 4 kills or so to acquire, but if you're lucky, can net you higher level kill streaks without you having to be any good. However, when you call one in, anyone in the map can claim it for themselves, and if you don't have what it takes to not die, your hard work can vanish before your very eyes. Obviously then, it absolutely sucks when someone nabs it from under your nose, and it's even worse if it's a fellow teammate. The pain stings even more if there's a powerful item inside and you have to watch as someone else rakes in the kills or, in the worst case scenario, kicks your own ass with it. Number 14, forgetting about Martyrdom while playing Modern Warfare Remastered. Though it absolutely sucks that Modern Warfare Remastered was held to ransom by Activision, it's still a pretty bloody good game. Of course, there are a few things you forget that are included in that game which were omitted from other releases that you might be more familiar with. Namely, how goddamn frustrating the Martyrdom perk is. Explosives in general are overpowered in that title, but this just sees your enemy drop a grenade when they die that will take you out if you're not paying attention. It sucked in 2007, and it still sucks now. Number 13, capturing a flag by yourself, only to get shot at the last second. Call of Duty devs have tried to make sure players actually play the objective in their games, but a good chunk of fans are still more concerned with preserving their kill-death ratio than actually winning the matches. Not you though, you were one of the good ones, and as a result, you'll find yourself trying to capture flags and domination all by yourself to help secure a victory. The issue is, of course, that your hard work is punished, because it takes far longer to capture a flag when you're flying solo. As the bar ticks up, the nerves set in, as all it will take is one enemy coming from your blind spot to ruin your hard work. That's often how these little conquests end, and you'll respawn wondering why you even bothered while cursing the rest of your team for mindlessly throwing themselves down the same corridors and getting killed over and over again. Number 12, the Zombies Money Hoarder. As you all know, zombies in Call of Duty plays out in rounds, and across these rounds each player nets themselves money by killing monsters that can be used for weapons, upgrades, and opening up other parts of the map. It's a cool way to do a scoring system, but the issue comes when you get one person in the team who's hesitant to part with their hard-earned coin to help everyone else out. These Ebenezer Scrooge-style misers will happily let you open up new areas while making sure they get the most expensive weapons. They're looking out purely for themselves and are the kind of people who would give you crap about not paying back that $1.99 they gave you for McDonald's back in 2003. Number 11, getting done dirty by the terrible spawns. Call of Duty has perfected its multiplayer suite for almost 15 years now, but for some reason it still completely craps the bed when it comes to the spawn points across maps. Granted, this usually only plagues new games at launch, but it still doesn't make it any less frustrating to have to put up with it year after year. There's nothing worse than being on a roll, racking up kills, making the most of your surroundings, and scraping through hectic firefights, only for an enemy, or a bunch of them, to spawn right in front of you and take you out before you even get a chance to react. On the inverse, it sucks just as much getting spawn trapped, killed as soon as your feet touch the ground. Number 10, being betrayed by the hitboxes. While we're ragging on the game for its multiplayer issues, we might as well talk about those damn hitboxes, or perhaps more aptly, the lack of them. Having an enemy in your sights lining up the perfect headshot only to fire and then completely miss because the game decided not to register your bullets is annoying enough to make you swear off video games entirely. Back in the day, this happened a lot because of the host's connection being terrible, but the cause doesn't really matter when you have an enemy bang to rights in the moment, only for them to somehow shrug off your bullets like they're Neo in the Matrix, turn around, and kill you dead. Number 9, muting everyone before the match begins. At this point, everyone recognizes the video game stereotype of the 12-year-old gamer kid who enjoys nothing more than hurling abuse down the microphone.
My clan will beat your little ass.
But this isn't a blown out of proportion cliche that only exists in Hollywood movies. Even now, years after it went out of fashion, lobbies in Call of Duty are still full of annoying idiots who don't turn off their mics. They might not actively be insulting you, but they'll probably be playing their music full blast down the headset or talking to their mums about what they want for tea. Instead of risking getting some asshole on your team, it's better to preempt the horror and just mute everyone. It might not help coordinate with your squad, but it will certainly let you play in peace. Number 8. The one friend who always goes down in zombies. Playing with friends in any game is one of life's greatest joys. That said, everyone, and I do mean everyone, has that one friend who's an absolute liability. These guys are even worse than the mates who hoard their wealth for the good guns, because at least they can usually defend themselves. I'm not talking about going down after 20 rounds of zombies here either. These friends can manage to take hits when there's only one zombie in front of them on round 2, forcing you to haul ass to the other end of the map to pick them up because of course they branched off on their own thinking they could one-man army the crap out of the game. You still love them, but you'd absolutely knock them out if you had the chance. Number 7. Praying for the one lucky throwing knife kill. The throwing knife sent everyone into a frenzy when it was first introduced. The internet instantly became inundated with videos of people chucking this weapon across the map and nabbing one-hit kills, which inspired everyone to try to replicate those same epic takedowns. The problem is, however, the throwing knife is a tricky thing to master. Of course, the allure of nabbing one of those stylish finishes was too much though, and everyone went around throwing these things and hitting nothing anywhere. It was all worth it for when you finally did get that one cool kill you could save to your capture gallery though, and it just about justified the 38 deaths that preceded it. Number 6. Having your kill streak instantly shot down. Getting a kill streak / score streak in any of the Call of Duty games brings with it a dopamine rush that makes playing one match after another so addictive. However, while COD can give with one hand, it can take away just as easily with the other. That's because in order to not skew the balance and allow the best players to simply dominate with unstoppable rewards, other players can often counter these streaks by shooting them out the sky. It's not easy, but some players actually have made a sport out of it. As soon as anything is called in, hell, it might just be a UAV, these players will shoot it straight down, giving you kill streak blue balls. Number 5. Going for the melee kill when you should have just shot. We are all our own worst enemy. While we might complain about hitboxes or campers or weapons not firing properly, more often than not we can only have ourselves to blame when things inevitably go tits up. We've all been there, behind a player who has no idea you're sneaking up on them, but too far away to tap the melee button and get the kill. So you chase them, trying to close the distance. You could just shoot them obviously, but where's the fun in that? Well, banking the kill with a few rounds is much more fun than chasing the opponent around a corner for far longer than you anticipated, only to get shot in the back yourself. Number 4. The tension before a nuke. Until a most recent Modern Warfare, the tactical nuke kill streak only appeared in Modern Warfare 2, but it's a testament to its impact that it's still so closely associated with the franchise. That's because the unlock, which took 25 unbroken kills to achieve, was the pinnacle of MW's multiplayer suite. It was tough as hell to actually get, but it was worth it because it instantly won the match and would net you bragging rights for life. As a result though, the pressure you felt when you were on the cusp of a nuke was overwhelming. Your palms would be sweaty, knees weak, arms heavy, but more often than not, you'd end up bottling it anyway because some scrub would sneak up behind you and shoot you in the head. Number 3. War flashbacks to all the pre-patch overpowered guns. The launch of a new Call of Duty is always a bit of a strange time. Everyone is getting used to the new maps and weapons, and you can always guarantee there's going to be at least one gun that eclipses the rest in terms of pure firepower and effectiveness. World at War had the MP40, Modern Warfare 2 had the Akimbo 1887s, Black Ops 2 had the full auto file, the Modern Warfare reboot had the 725, and the list just goes on and on and on. There's always at least one of these OP horror shows that ends up haunting your dreams. It makes using anything else a fool's errand. A lot of these do admittedly get patched, but they work like a hydra. You cut one head off and another one just pops up, ready to headshot you at a moment's notice. Number 2. Being killed before you fire a specialist ability. The most recent Black Ops games have you picking certain specialists, which come equipped with their own individual powers that can be used a couple of times a match. You only get a certain amount of time with them though, so choosing your moment to deploy is essential. However, it's easy to get too cautious and be constantly looking out for the right moment to whip out the ace up your sleeve. This can result in two heartbreaking scenarios. Either the perfect moment never arrives and the game ends with the ability still in the bank, or you get overeager, whip it out, and get killed before you can even fire a shot. Number 1. Suffering through the Call of Duty cycle. The Call of Duty cycle defines the life of every Call of Duty fan. It starts around January, where the rumors about the next installment start properly kicking into gear. At this point, you swear off the franchise. It's overdone, it's always the same, it's terrible, it's past its prime. Then, a few months later, the game officially gets announced. It's a hot sequel slash reboot slash interesting new idea, but you've been burnt too many times before. Then E3 hits and the gameplay actually looks pretty good. You start reading articles about how it's going to be the best Call of Duty in years, and your cold heart starts to melt. Cut to a month before launch and suddenly you're all in, hype levels hitting the roof. You're looking forward to weekends spent eating takeaways and playing endless hours of multiplayer. Launch day then comes, and it's as good as you wanted it to be, and you scratch the itch only Call of Duty can. But then the familiar problems raise their heads, everything I've written about on this list, and the fun begins to disappear. Even worse, Activision starts tampering with the economy and begins to nickel and dime you. The affection quickly sours, and you decide it's the worst Call of Duty of all time. Then it's January, and we're ready to do it all again. So that's our list. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you enjoying Modern Warfare and what you think about the picks here? And while you're down there, could you give us a like, share, subscribe, and head over to WhatCulture.com for more lists and news like this every single day. Even if you don't though, I've been Josh, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.